Hello, everyone. This is Stephanie. Welcome to another class with me here at Linguistiko. This class is called Airports. So basically, it's all about how to get through an airport. It contains lots of useful vocabulary that will help you not get lost in an airport. And I know that airports are different all over the world, but in a way they are pretty much the same. The procedures are generally the same. I know in some countries, maybe the procedures are more strict than in others. In the United States, for example, procedures are very strict in airports. And in the presentation that I made, you will see that I added some humor just because of how strict it is. And it's not to make fun of it in a negative way and say it's bad. It's just to make a little fun and be funny. So you'll see that, and I will point it out when I do the presentation. Anyhow, there is one person signed up for this class right now, and so I am going to talk a little bit and see if anybody joins, and then I will go from there. But basically, I share my airport experiences and my airplane experiences on the presentation, but I'll share a little bit about it now anyways. So, okay, this, I don't know, it's shocking to a lot of people, but I didn't go on a plane until I was 19 years old, and that was my first time. And I think it's shocking because a lot of people travel and a lot of people go on planes since they are young, and so it's no big deal. It's not a new experience. But no, for me, I had never been on a plane. I always wondered what it would be like, and then I got the opportunity and it was interesting. And ever since then, I have traveled a lot on planes. I could probably, if I sit down and count, I could probably count the number of planes that I've been on, and I've traveled a lot, but not enough to forget each trip. So I live here in Argentina, and I've traveled within the country by plane. And I've traveled internationally, mostly in between. Oh, hi, Benjamin. How are you? Benjamin, do you hear me? Your microphone is muted. Hello?
Hi.
Hi, it's been a long time. How have you been?
Great, I guess.
Great, you guess?
Uh, so.
I'm not convinced. That's fine. Cool. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Do you celebrate Christmas?
Yeah, I celebrate.
Oh, okay. So did you spend time with your family today?
Yeah. Now lunch.
Uh-huh. Lunch. I know in some cultures they celebrate on Christmas Day and others celebrate on Christmas Eve. Here in Argentina, they celebrate on Christmas Eve and they do a late dinner, and then at midnight they have fireworks and they make a toast and we drink champagne, and then we get together again on Christmas Day for lunch. Do you guys celebrate Christmas Eve at night?
Yeah, pretty much the same.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, welcome to the airports class. This class has a lot of reading in it today, but it's all stuff that I wrote, so it's nothing off of a website. But before we get to that, it's a presentation about airport procedures. I have something else that we are going to do. So the first thing that we're going to do has nothing to do with airports, and it's just like a little extra. It's basically idioms in English. We'll probably take 5 or 10 minutes to do this. And I'm going to show you some idioms, and you have to guess what they mean. If you don't know what it means, you can guess what they mean or say, I have no idea. And then we will do 10, and then at the end, I will give you the answers. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Excuse me. Uh, Here we go. Okay, this is the first one. Do you see it?
Yeah, that's given.
That's a given. Do you know what this means?
The something that is already known. Or,
Good. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Okay, so I'll get to the definition at the end. No man's land. Have you heard this one before?
yeah. It's in really far, far away when no one's there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, you're right. Later we'll make some sentences with these just to make sure we have them solid.
Okay.
Okay, can't beat that.
Uh, when you can, like, something is perfect and there's no way you can improve it. Like, it's the best.
Perfect. Yeah, yeah, good job. Okay, I'm all ears.
When you're paying really attention, close attention to something.
Okay. Wow, so far you're doing extremely well. I'm
So
happily surprised. Okay, here we go. Break a leg.
I like to give encourage someone or like when he's going to play a game or doing a play in a theater or something. So
Benjamin,
like,
can I ask you a question?
okay,
Are you an English teacher?
I'm sorry.
Because you know all of the answers. I think secretly you're an English teacher or something. But
No, no thanks.
I know it was a joke. But you're doing very well. Okay. Call it a day.
Yeah, when stop working and they say let's call it a day, we keep it next day.
Okay, good. Couch potato. I
When
know
you're
you know what this is.
lazy and you're yeah sitting watching TV, drinking beer.
Yum. Okay, yes.
I think.
Good. No, you're doing good. Under the weather.
Yeah, I heard that. Let me think. It's like when you have a lot of problems. I think
Okay,
bad
you're
luck.
close. You're close. Don't worry, we'll get to the answer at the end, but you're close.
Okay,
You can say that. What does it mean when people say that? You can say that again.
like to reaffirmate something.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Reaffirm. Good. That's a piece of cake.
Well, when something is really easy.
Good. Okay, so that's a given means that's obvious.
Okay,
Good. So how would you use this in a sentence or if you're talking with someone?
Stephanie is a good teacher. That's a given.
Oh, thank you. Benjamin is really smart. That's a given.
Nah.
Okay, no man's land, the middle of nowhere, far from civilization. So how would you use this one?
Mm, Alaska is no man's land.
Uh-huh, good. I have a friend who lives in Alaska.
Oh, for really.
Uh, that's okay, she won't see this video. Okay, can't beat that. It means it's the best, a really good deal, or a really good deal. How would you use this?
Mm, that cell phone is so cheap that you can't beat that.
Yeah, good. Okay, all ears. You have my full attention.
This class is so exciting that I'm all ears.
Oh, thank you. Okay, break a leg. Was this the one you had trouble on? No,
No.
you knew this one. This one was good luck. So
Yeah.
yeah, how would you use this one?
Um, okay, team, let's break a leg in this game.
Good. Okay, call it a day to end something, whether or not you have finished.
Look, I'm so tired. Just let's call it a day.
Good. Couch potato, lazy person. How would you use this one?
I don't know why all my friends thinks I'm a coach potato.
Do they really?
Now,
Okay, good. Just checking. Okay. Under the weather means sick.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
So
I'm
how
not.
would,
Okay. I'm not going to work today. I'm under the weather.
yeah, good one. Okay, you can say that again means that's true or I agree.
Um, I'm learning a lot. You can say that again.
Good. Okay, that's a piece of cake means that's easy.
Mm, this class is not a piece of cake.
Yes, it is, liar. I'm just kidding. Um, yes, that was a good sentence, but I disagree. I think for you, it was a piece of, I mean, it is a piece of cake, and I think that that little presentation for you was a piece of cake. And so, yeah, I was happily surprised that you
I
did
watch
so
a lot of
well.
movies, so
What?
probably I watch a lot of movies, so I guess I heard that expressions before.
Yeah, they come from somewhere. You know, these ones, when I made this presentation, I was trying to do very common ones on purpose, just because, it helps me gauge where students are at. So basically, by doing this with you, it helps me know you a little bit more and say, okay, if I know Benjamin is coming to this class, I'm going to prepare something a little bit harder, maybe something you don't know, so that way you can actually, yeah, learn something new. But anyhow, yes, good job. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the other presentation that has a lot of reading involved. And yes, I'm going to make you do a lot of reading. And
Yeah.
um, you've been through airports, correct?
A long, long time ago.
Oh, okay. So you haven't done any recent traveling in airports.
Recently, no.
Okay. And have you ever been in an airport in the United States?
No, never.
Okay. Okay, so basically, the presentation is based on my experience going through airports in the United States and Argentina and Mexico, but more than anything in the States. So over there, as you probably have heard on the television, there's like high security and going through the airport. It's organized, but it's very not tedious. It's just involved. Like there are many steps. And there's lots of vocabulary. So the reason also that I'm doing this class is to throw all this vocabulary at you so you can become familiarized with it. So that way, if you ever travel to an English-speaking country, you will not only know the steps and the procedures getting through an airport, but you will know the vocabulary that is used because it's very specific. The words that are used inside of an airport are probably not used anywhere else. Or at least the phrases. Like, for example, departure gate, that's very specific. I mean, we have departure and we have gate, but when you put it together, it's talking about something specifically inside of an airport.
Okay.
Okay. So give me 1 second. I'll share my screen. Okay, airports, getting through them. So I'm going to have you read. Oh, wait, first of all, I just put this here. Luggage, baggage, bags, and suitcases are pretty much all the same thing. It's different ways to say these things that you see, okay? We call them bags, we also call them suitcases. There may even be words that I forgot to write here. But baggage and luggage is pretty much the same thing. Okay. So my story. Go ahead and read this slide.
Okay, by the way, I'm terrible at reading, so please be patient with me.
Wait. Why are you terrible at reading?
Because I always read in my head, but I don't usually do it that loud. So
Oh.
I, I, I didn't really practice pronunciation.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh, well then that's perfect. That's perfect. Then that makes me feel good. Then I actually have something I can help you with because you did so good on the other thing. I was like, man, I can't help this guy. He's so good already. So
um,
good. I'm
I'm a really beginner level. My story, right?
What? Yes.
Yes. I was 19 years old the first time I flew on a plane. The experience was both exciting and nerve-wracking. However, since I was with my water polo team and just followed the group through the airport, I didn't pay attention to the airport procedures. At one point, I showed my ID. At another, I put my backpack on a conveyor belt that
Mm-hmm.
took me through an X-ray machine. It felt like there was a checkpoint at every corner, and I hoped I would never have to travel alone. I was sure I'd get lost if I ever did.
Good. Okay, there was just one word, procedures.
Proc- Procedure. I can't.
Okay, hang on, hang on. Hang on. Look at me and don't look at the word. Okay? Because this happens a lot because English is written in a weird way. So, procedures.
Procedures.
Okay, wait, hang on. We'll take it slower. Procedures.
Procedures.
Yeah,
Procedures.
jures.
Oh,
Procedures.
Oh, okay. Procedures.
Procedures.
Okay.
Good. Good. Okay. So when you read that, were you focused more on pronunciation or were you able to understand it as well as you were reading?
I was focused on pronunciation. I get a little, but I don't know. I remember um, I remember very little.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I understand that that happens because we do have to focus so much on the pronunciation. So
I'm gonna
what I'm going to do, what?
I'm gonna try to understand the next time, but I won't focus on the pronunciation. Okay. So
No, wait, no, hang on, hang on. Well, we have plenty of time in this class. So
okay.
what I'll do is I will read every slide first. That way you can absorb it and understand it, and then you read, and I think that'll also help you with the pronunciation because you're going to read it while I read it to you, and you're going to hear it. Then when it's your turn, you'll be basing what you say off of what I said. So I think that will also help with your pronunciation. Before I forget, though, I wanted to say you did read very well, and I like the way you pause in the sentence when there's a comma or when there's not. Just you read it in a very nice way. It makes it easier for the listener when you read like that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to read this one again just so you can have the understanding, okay? Follow with me. My story. I was 19 years old the first time I flew on a plane. The experience was both exciting and nerve-wracking. However, since I was with my water polo team and just followed the group through the airport, I didn't pay attention to the airport procedures. At one point, I showed my ID. At another, I put my backpack on a conveyor belt that took it through an x-ray machine. It felt like there was a checkpoint at every corner, and I hoped I would never have to travel alone. I was sure I'd get lost if I ever did. Okay, good. So, are there any words in here that you need clarification on, or does everything sound good and make sense?
Um, Conveyor. I know conveyor. That's the where you put your stuff and moves along the line.
Uh-huh.
But
Uh-huh.
what exactly means conveyor?
Ooh, good question. Because yeah, I know what it is. It's the thing that goes and you like put your backpack on it. But a conveyor, I think that's one I would have to look up because I don't know an actual definition. I don't know an actual definition for it. I know the verb to convey. To convey means to
Gather.
tell.
Uh,
What?
like convey. Sorry. I get confused with convoy.
Oh, convoy.
Sorry.
Hey, but it's similar. Hang on. Let me. I'm gonna look this up. Oh, I went to the wrong website.
Excuse me. Can you hear the barking in the background?
Yeah, what's your dog's name?
Actually, it's there's a storm outside, and the lighting
Uh-huh.
makes it crazy. I'm sorry. So
Oh, well,
it's rain.
yeah, I hear the dog, but I don't hear the lightning or anything.
It's probably far away, but the lights get them crazy.
Uh-huh. Okay. Really quickly, to convey means to carry, bring, or take from one place to another, to transport. It also means to communicate. So a conveyor belt is a belt that carries, brings, or takes from one place to another, or transports. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like that you asked that question because we do have plenty of time in this class, and especially since you and I are the only ones in it, we have time to pause, to Google definitions if we want. Like, my classes, as you know, are very relaxed, and I'm totally okay going off the tracks a little bit just to make it more interactive. So that's good. And these are also things that are a little bit more difficult to do when more people are in the class. I don't know if you've ever been in a class with me when there's like 5 students, but I've already started giving classes with a lot more students, and it's different. It's fun, but it's not as personalized. I don't get to know the students as well. But okay, here we go. Okay, my story. So I'm going to read the next slide. Follow along with me, and then I'll have you read it, okay? Mexico. I was 20 years old when I went with my sister and her 3-year-old son to Mexico. I would have been nervous to go through the international airports alone or with another inexperienced traveler like myself, but my sister had already made that same trip 3 other times, and so I knew that I had no reason to worry. I was right. Karin got us through all the airports like a professional. However, I again relied on following someone else, and I didn't learn the process for myself. Because the trip was international, the airports seemed even more complicated. Then, in Mexico, there was Spanish all over the place, and I settled on the idea that airports are super complicated and I would probably never learn how to get through them myself. Good. Okay, your turn.
Mexico. I was 20 years old when I went with my sister and her 3-year-old son to Mexico. I would have been nervous to go through the international airports alone or with another inexperienced traveler like myself. But my sister had already made that same trip 3 other times, and so I knew that I had no reason to worry. I was right. Karen got us through all the airports like a professional. However, I again relied on following someone else and didn't learn the process for myself. Because the trip was international, the airport seemed even more complicated. Then, in Mexico, there was Spanish all over the place, and I settled in the idea that airports are super complicated and I would probably never learn how to get through them by myself.
Good. Through them myself. Good. Okay, so were there any words here that you needed clarification on?
No, I think no.
Okay. As far as pronunciation goes, I do have some suggestions for you. And basically, the first one is the word 3. Okay, I think you're saying it a little incorrectly, so let's try this. Just watch me do it. Okay, 3. Try that.
3.
Okay, almost. What you're
Yeah,
saying, it's understandable, but it sounds more like a tree,
yeah, with
like a
branches.
tree. Yeah. So what you need to do instead of doing, and here, let me give you some examples in the group chat. Okay, the word tree, for example, it has a T, but it has a TR, and it sounds like this. It sounds like CHREE, tree. Okay. So instead of doing that, you're going to do a TH. Okay, 3, like that.
3.
Good. I want you to try it and go even slower, okay? So just do the, and then the re. Do re, okay?
3. Three.
Okay. Do you remember when we did, I think you and I did this together, voiced and unvoiced sounds?
Yeah.
Okay, so the TH, there are two kinds. Two, I do this and it makes four. No, there are two kinds. There is the TH that's like this, and it's basically just air. And then there's a TH that's like this, the. Okay? So in three, TH is unvoiced, but in the word that, okay, the TH is voiced. That, and then three. Okay? So what I want you to do, we're just going to try this a little bit more and then we'll go on because I don't want to make you suffer. But basically, do the TH, it has to be unvoiced. So it literally, I shouldn't even hear it. It should be, or I should barely hear it. So do that and then separate it and then say re. So I want that separation. Re. Try that.
Three.
Good. Okay, so try it one more time, the and then re.
Three.
Good. And then you're just going to put that together and it will become three, like that.
Three.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so this is one that you should probably just practice on your own in front of the mirror, at home, however you want, and just practice, practice, practice because your tongue is a muscle. And there's something called muscle memory. And with muscle memory, you know, our body remembers how to do things. So if you first you have to undo the habit and then you have to remake it. So you've been saying it wrong for a long time. So now practice saying it correctly and really practice it so that way when you're in a conversation and you need it on the fly, like really fast, it'll come out correctly. So the same thing goes for the word through. You had mispronounced this one. I don't remember exactly how you said it, but it's the same thing. It's through. Through. Okay? Try that.
Through.
Perfect. Good. Very good. Okay. And having me read the slide first and then having you read it, is that helpful at all?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Can you give me a
Perfect.
second? I'm gonna throw them a bone.
No problem.
Okay,
They're better?
I hope.
Okay. Okay. So let's continue now with our airport procedures. And by the way, before I forget, I don't remember if I told you, but I'll be gone for 5 days. So if you see that for like a long period I'm not giving any classes, it's just I'm going to the coast, but I'll be back in case you wonder.
Okay, like a vacation.
Yeah, I'm going on a little vacation. But I'm letting my students know who are regulars who usually see me because I just want to let them know that I'll be back in case they, are waiting for more classes.
Yeah, we're gonna
Uh, what?
we're gonna miss you.
I'll be back, I promise. And Linguistiko has a new teacher. I haven't met her, but she starts soon, so maybe check her out and see what her classes are like.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get through this. And then I traveled alone to Argentina. Okay, I just kept telling myself, tons of people travel alone, and if they can do it, so can I. That doesn't mean I wasn't afraid. I was. I just didn't allow myself to imagine going through three big international airports alone. Otherwise, I would have been terrified. I had prepared all my documents and checked in for my flight the night before. The one and only strategy that I had thought of prior to being dropped off at the airport was, when in doubt, ask. As I, as I suspected, each airport was a maze. However, much to my surprise, they were pretty much idiot-proof. Each checkpoint pointed clearly to the next, and each sign left nothing to surprise. I finally learned that although airports seem complicated, they are not. It was a great experience for me that really boosted my confidence and, best of all, prepared me for future international trips. Okay, your turn.
And then I traveled alone to Argentina. I just keep telling myself, tons of people travel alone, and if they can do it, so can I. That doesn't mean I wasn't afraid. I was. I just didn't allow myself to imagine going through three big international airports alone.
Good job!
Otherwise,
Sorry, I had to celebrate.
it's okay. I would have been terrified. I had prepared all my documents and checked in for my flight the night before. The one and only strategy that I had thought of prior to being dropped off at the airport was, when in doubt, ask. As I suspected, each airport was a maze. However, much to my surprise, they were pretty much idiot-proof. Each checkpoint pointed clearly to the next, and each sign left nothing to surprise. I finally learned that although airports seem complicated, they are not. It was a great experience for me that really boosted my confidence, and best of all, prepared me for the future international trips.
Good. Okay, so is there anything we need to go over? Any new words?
No, I don't think so.
Good. Okay, here we go. Airport basics. I'll read this and then we'll go directly to the next one. The following slides outline airport procedures and contain tips as well as useful vocabulary. Terminals. Big airports generally have more than one terminal. This means that you will need to know from which terminal your flight will depart, as well as to which terminal your flight will arrive. If you find yourself in the wrong terminal, you can either walk to the correct one or take some method of transportation. Usually shuttle buses, subways, or trains are provided for inter-terminal transportation. If you are lucky, you may meet Victor Naborsky. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, yeah, Tom Hanks.
Okay, good. You got my joke. Okay. Okay, it's your turn.
Okay. Terminals. Big airports generally have more than one terminal. This means that you will need to know from which terminal your flight will depart, as well as to which terminal your flight will arrive. If you find yourself in the wrong terminal, you can either walk to the correct one or take some method of transportation. Usually, shuttle buses, subway, or trains are provided for inter-terminal transportation. If you're lucky, you may meet Victor Naborsky.
Good. Just one quick correction. This is shuttle buses.
Shuttle buses, okay.
Good. Okay. Check-in counter. Let me zoom in. It's a little bit. Do you see it a little bit bigger now?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Check-in counter. At the check-in counter, you will receive your boarding pass and check in your baggage. You will receive a baggage tag for, oops, it should be for your checked luggage that will later help you identify your bags at your destination or will help you find your bags in the case that they get lost. It is advised that you put name tags with your contact information on all your bags. There are generally free name tags and pens at the check-in counter.
Okay. Check-in counter. At the check-in counter, you will receive your boarding pass and check-in your baggage. You will receive a baggage tag for your checked luggage that will later help you identify your bags at your destination or will help you find your bags in the case that they get lost. It is advised that you put name tags with your contact information on all your bags. There are generally 3 name tags and pens at the check-in counter.
Good. Okay. So are we clear on all the vocab here?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Hang on. I got Zoom. Ooh. Hang on. Come on, go to the next one. Oh, there we go. Check-in counter. Okay, security checkpoint. Right before going through security screening, an agent will check your boarding pass and identification. Place your carry-on luggage on the conveyor belt so it can go through the X-ray screener. Remove all objects from your pockets. Take off your shoes and belt if you are wearing one. Place items in a bin and send it through the X-ray screener with your luggage. Security workers will have you walk through a metal detector. If you are frisk searched, don't take it personally. Security guards are stationed all throughout the airport, not just at the security checkpoint. Good. Okay, your turn.
Security checkpoint. Right before going through security screening, an agent will check your boarding pass and identification. Place your carry-on luggage on the conveyor belt so it can go through the X-ray screener. Remove all objects from your pockets. Take off your shoes and belt, if you are wearing one. Place items in a bin and send it through the X-ray screener with your luggage. Security workers will have you walk through a metal detector. If you are frisk searched, don't take it personally. Security guards are stationed all through the airport, not just at the security checkpoint.
Good. And by the way, this word is throughout.
Oh,
All throughout.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so are you familiar with all of the words here?
Yeah, I think I am.
Good. I think what happens a lot is that sometimes maybe the words that we aren't familiar with, when we read them and see them in context, it's kind of like, oh, okay, I know what that is.
Yeah, probably.
But maybe sometimes outside of the context, it's more confusing. I know because that happens to me in Spanish. But okay, next one. Once they decide you are not a terrorist, okay, and this was kind of like a little joke, just because in the United States there's a lot of security. Okay, so once they decide you are not a terrorist, you may have a couple hours before your flight. In the event that you have some time to spare, keep in mind that you don't have to go to the waiting area by the departure gate to read a book or talk to strangers. I should have said go right away. Sorry, I'm kind of messed that up. So it should be you don't have to go right away to the waiting area by the departure gate to read a book or talk to strangers. Airports offer many wonderful alternatives. For example, you can browse through the gift shops and purchase some postcards or keychains. Or maybe you'd like to enjoy a nice restaurant or quickly grab a bite to eat at a snack bar. If you get thirsty, you generally have 2 options. You can either drink from a water fountain, or buy a $5 bottle of water. While you are waiting, make sure to keep an eye on the arrival and departure monitor so that you see when your flight is boarding. Priority boarding is for first-class passengers and those who are disabled or traveling under special circumstances. Example, traveling with small children. If you decide to wander about before boarding, just remember to be at the departure gate at least 15 minutes before the scheduled departure time. You may find yourself in a maze of hallways, But do not panic. There are many signs that will clearly lead you to your departure gate. Good. All right, your turn.
Okay. Once they decide you're not a terrorist, you may have a couple hours before your flight. In the event that you have some time to spare, keep in mind that you don't have to go right away to the waiting area by the departure gate to read a book or talk to strangers. Airports offer many wonderful alternatives. For example, you can browse through the gift shops and purchase some postcards or keychains. Or maybe you'll like to enjoy a nice restaurant or quickly grab a bite to eat at a snack bar. If you get thirsty, you generally have two options. You can either drink from a water fountain or buy a $5 bottle of water. While you are waiting, make sure to keep an eye on the arrival and departure monitor so that you see when your flight is boarding. Priority boarding is for the first class passengers and those who are disabled, or traveling under special circumstances. For example, traveling with small children. If you decide to wander about before boarding, just remember to be at the departure gate at least 15 minutes before the schedule
Wait.
depart
Scheduled.
scheduled
There you go.
scheduled
Uh-huh.
depart. You may find yourself in a maze of hallways, but do not panic. There are many signs that will clearly lead you to the departure gates.
Good. Okay. So are we clear on the vocabulary?
Yes, I think so.
Good. Okay. Next. Let's go. Oh, I have to make it smaller. I keep forgetting how to do this. Here we go. Okay, on the aircraft. Okay. Walk down the cabin aisle until you reach your assigned seat. Place your carry-on luggage in the overhead bins and make yourself comfortable. Keep in mind, if you have a window seat, it will be easy to see the land below, which may or may not be a good thing depending on whether or not you have a fear of flying. If you have an aisle seat, you won't bother those in your row when you have to use the restrooms. The pilot will drive the plane to the runway for takeoff. Your ears may pop as the elevation of the aircraft increases. If you feel the need to vomit due to turbulence, grab the paper bag that is located in the pouch below your tray table. The flight attendants serve meals and refreshments. You should always locate the emergency exits and pay attention to the explanation of safety procedures regarding the oxygen masks and life vests just in case the flight becomes a cruise. I'm sorry, that was a joke I got from a comedian. I don't know if that makes sense. Do you get that? Do you get the humor in this?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you don't think it's very funny, but the comedian, it was really funny. So anyhow, I included it in my presentation.
It's a
Okay. Okay. When the plane lands and you pass the flight. Hang on, I'm still laughing. Okay, I can do this. Okay. When the plane lands and you pass the flight crew by the cockpit on the way out, make sure you thank them for bringing you safely to your destination. Okay, your turn.
on the aircraft. Walk down the cabin aisle until you reach your
Wait,
assigned seat.
sorry, aisle.
Aisle. Oh, aisle.
Yeah, the S is silent.
Ah, I didn't.
Um,
That's how you write it.
by Yeah, by the way, aisle, we use this word also in supermarkets. Like in supermarkets, they always have many aisles, which would be like the rows of food that you buy. They are aisles.
Yeah, I never see it right in the
Written.
yeah written. Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Walk
Good.
down the cabin aisle until you reach your assigned seat. Place your carry-on luggage on the overhead bins and make yourself comfortable. Keep in mind, if you have a window seat, it will be easy to see the land below, which may or may not be a good thing, depending on whether or not you have a fear of flying. If you have been an aisle seat, you won't bother those in your row when you have to use the restrooms. The pilot will drive the plane to the runway for takeoff. Your ears may pop as the elevation of the aircraft increases. If you feel the need to vomit due to turbulence, grab the paper bag that is located in the pouch
Wait,
below your
wait,
tray
wait.
table.
Pouch.
Pouch. Oh yeah,
Pouch.
pouch
Mm-hmm.
below your tray table. The flight attendants serve meal and refreshments. You should always locate the emergency exits and pay attention to the explanation of safety procedures regarding the oxygen mask and life vest just in case the flight becomes a cruise. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, sorry.
When the plane lands, and if you pass the flight crew by the cockpit on the way out, make sure to thank them for bringing you safely to your destination. Unless you're
Good
in the...
job. Was all of the vocabulary clear?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. When you were reading the one about the flight becoming a cruise, were you trying not to laugh?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I could tell. It was funny. It was funny. Thank you for enjoying my joke. Okay. Back at the airport. Here we go. Um, if you have to connect to another flight, you simply follow the signs to the gate that your flight will depart from. You should already have a boarding pass. If you have arrived at your destination, you will need to pass through immigration. There are specific lines for citizens and others for tourists. Be ready to show your documents to the immigration officer. After you pass immigration, follow the signs to the baggage claim area. If you have many pieces of luggage, consider getting a cart luggage carrier before taking your belongings off the luggage carousel. I'm sorry, that word, I'm probably not even 100% sure how to say it, but I think it's carousel. Carousel. Oh my
Carousel.
gosh.
Yeah.
Do you know how to say that?
I think so.
Carousel?
Like, yeah, it gotta be carousel. Like in
Okay.
playground. I think.
Yeah, yes, I just realized I don't even know how to say that. Okay, and then we also call it a luggage or baggage belt. And that's probably what I say because I didn't know how to say the other one. But anyhow, after finding your luggage, make your way to customs and have your customs declaration form ready. Be nice to the customs officer. Once you pass through customs, you are free to exit the airport and enjoy your trip. Your turn.
Back at the airport. If you have to connect to another flight, you simply follow the sign to the gate that your flight will depart from. You should already have your boarding pass. If you arrive at your destination, you will need to pass through immigration. There are specific lines for citizens and others for tourists. Be ready to show your documents to the immigration officer. After you pass immigration, follow the sign to the baggage claim area. If you have many pieces of luggage, consider getting a cart luggage carrier before taking your belongings off the luggage carousel, luggage or baggage belt. After finding your luggage, make your way to customs and have your customs declaration form ready. Be nice to the customs officer. Once you pass through customs, you are free to exit the airport and enjoy your trip.
Good. Okay, so does any questions about the vocab here?
Sorry, what? I
Were there,
lost
do you have
connection, I
any
think.
questions? Do you have any questions about the vocabulary there?
I don't think so. I think not.
Okay. The be nice to the customs officer, two quick things. After I had been in Argentina for 6 months, and like over here, as you know, Latin American culture, it's like everybody is very, it's warm compared to the United States. So we talk standing closer together. I'll stop sharing for a second. When we talk to each other, we stand closer together. We're kind of just in each other's space a little bit more than in the United States. So after having been here for 6 months, I went there, and when we were going through the customs, I was standing really close to the lady in front of me, and I didn't realize it. And then when the officer was checking her stuff, I was like just right behind her. And to me, I was at a normal distance, and the officer looks at me and she goes, "Can you back up?" And I was like, "Oh, sorry." And then the last time I went to see my family, when I get there, I had not been in the country for 10 months. So the officer looks at my documents and says, "Why are you coming here?" Like, I felt so interrogated. I was like, this is my country, and well, I was gone for 10 months, but like, I'm coming back to see my family, and I started telling her my whole story because I didn't know why she was interrogating me so much. And then she goes, and she like stamps it, and she goes, "Enjoy your trip," or "Enjoy your stay," or something. And I was like, oh my gosh. But really, I felt like scared. And I was like, I felt like an illegal immigrant or an illegal alien or something that was like trying to enter the country illegally or something. So it was funny.
It's fun.
Uh, okay, so we have one more to read. One more, and here we go. Uh, Things to remember. If you have connecting flights with the same airline, your luggage should be automatically transferred to the next plane. However, if your connecting flight is with a different airline, you will first have to get your luggage at the baggage claim and then check in at the check-in counter of the new airline and go again through security. Weigh your bags before arriving at the airport. If they are overweight, you will be charged a fine. Travel in comfortable clothes and bring at least one extra change of clothes in your carry-on. I suggest including at least 3 changes of underwear. You just never know. Sorry, I forgot that I had included that.
It's okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Things to remember. If you have connecting flights with the same airline, your luggage should be automatically transferred to the next plane. However, if your connecting flight is with a different airline, you will first have to get your luggage to the baggage claim and then check it at the check-in counter of the new airline and go again through security. Weigh your bags before arriving to the airport. If they are overweight, you will be charged a fine. Travel in comfortable clothes and bring at least one extra change of clothes in your carry-on. I suggest including at least 3 changes of underwear. You just never know.
Good job. Okay, so that concludes the presentation on the airports. So what do you think? Did you learn anything?
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm ready to travel somewhere.
Yeah, okay, where are you going to travel to? Where do you want to
I
go?
wish. I don't know. Anywhere. I'll be happy.
Anywhere. But what?
I'll be happy to go anywhere.
Oh, but do you think you want to go to Europe or North America, United States, somewhere in South America?
United States is kind of complicated because to get a visa from my country
Mhm.
is really difficult.
Visa.
Visa,
Visa.
not visa.
Visa. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but who knows?
Yeah, who knows? So you don't have any trips or anything planned anytime soon then?
Plan? No, no.
Oh, okay. You just work hard. And do you study too? I forgot. Are you working or studying or both?
I'm working
Okay.
for the
So
moment.
no time right now.
Yeah. Who knows what's
I-
gonna happen?
Yeah, no, I understand. Hey, and then now that you've done quite a few classes here at Linguistico, and we've done a few classes, do you notice whether or not they've helped you with anything, conversation, reading,
Yeah,
confidence, anything?
yeah, definitely because I haven't speak with anyone. I don't know, 2 years.
Hmm.
I think I told you that one time when I had to answer this call from this guy from Australia, and
Yeah.
really stressful because they speak with this weird accent. I don't know if you ever talk to someone.
Yeah.
Well,
I've heard the accent.
yeah,
Yeah, I
and
have.
yeah. After that, a couple times again, again a couple of clients, but I don't know, 2 years go by and I haven't speak with anyone.
Hmm. By the way, it's haven't spoken.
Haven't spoken.
Yeah, because that one is a little bit irregular. But so you haven't spoken in a few years with anybody in English, and so now you use Linguistiko. And do you think that there are other opportunities out there? Like, do you know any people over there that speak English that could practice with you?
No, not really.
Oh, well, it's a good thing then that Linguistico exists, right?
Yay, great.
And okay, just some feedback for me. Which classes do you feel you enjoy the most, and which are more helpful? Where we just do talking and conversation, or reading? Which ones do you prefer?
Mm, Both. I prefer conversations,
Mm,
but yeah, the reading is also.
yeah. What I'm going to be trying to do now and in the future, is to combine it a little bit more, where each class has some type of maybe just a tiny bit of reading, even if it's just a little bit, and then visual aid, because I had strayed away from the visual aid for quite some time. And I was talking with one of the directors at Linguistico, and we were talking about maybe the classes could use some more visual aid. So, I'm just experimenting, and that's why I asked the students, just because to get some feedback to know how I can make my classes more helpful, more interactive, more interesting. Do you
Yeah,
have
I
any?
really want to join that trivia class, but it was so early that I couldn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. I'm glad you didn't join it. You know why? Because I have a little bit of dyslexia, and I got my schedule confused that day. I prepared for my around the house class, thinking that I gave that class, and later I gave the trivia class, but it wasn't like that. I had the trivia class and then around the house. So the minute I opened everything up, and I was certain that it was the around the house class, and I had everything ready, and it says the next class you're giving is trivia, and I was like, no. So you know what I did? Well, first I apologized to my students because you know me, I'm honest. I'm not gonna like fake it or something. I was like, you guys, like this is what happened. Sorry, I'm human. But so basically, I started asking some questions, and then a lot of people showed up. It was 5 people. It was incredible. And I was like, well, I'll just go to a website and get some trivia questions, and I'll just use that for now, like as a last minute resort. But the questions were so bad. They were like so hard, like incredibly hard. Like maybe you would know, but nobody else knows. I didn't even know. And so then I was like, this is it. This is bad. So then I made them play the conversation game for 10 minutes where they had to talk nonstop among themselves while I like crazy took 10 minutes to go and get some materials together for the trivia, and then we played it, and it kind of turned into a conversation class, but basically it was not the trivia class that I had in my mind. It was nothing like it. So what I'm going to do is I will redo that class, but obviously I'm going to prepare. The reason is I was doing it later that night, so I was like, oh, I have plenty of time to prepare and everything, and no. So I'm glad you weren't there, honestly, because
Trivia.
it didn't go well at all.
Yeah, I like the questions. I don't know why.
Yeah, but
I like
it was
ask.
interesting. Sorry, I keep cutting you off. Go ahead.
I just saying that I like when someone asks me something, and if I don't know, it bugs me, so I gotta know. So I search it, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's I think I like it. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, in our game that we played, I said you can't look up the result, the
Yeah,
questions.
yeah, I don't
Maybe
right away, but it bugs me, later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Maybe what I will do in the future is I can say, okay, the first one to shout out the answer wins. You guys can research it, or I don't know. I'll make different rules. But there were some questions like, do you know, for example, Benjamin, the largest ocean on the planet? Which one is it?
the Atlantic, I think.
It's
I don't know.
actually the Pacific.
Oh,
Okay, so that was one of the questions. And what's the capital of Spain?
Madrid.
Yes, good. And the student didn't know. So there were some easy questions, and then there were some hard questions. Um, but anyhow, I'll make it, and it'll be fun because I will make the questions. I won't rely on like another website or anything. But
Yeah, I watch, those shows when they go to this pub and there's trivia night.
uh-huh.
Fun, but you can find that here.
Yeah.
I will say.
Well, so yeah, so I'll make it, but I don't know. I have to make some questions easier and some harder. Maybe I'll do a point system, like 2 points for a hard question, 1 point for an easy one, because they said no, we want more questions about like movies and pop trivia or something. And then I asked some of those questions and they didn't know. So I was like, oh, this is hard. So I'll just have to make that class and I'll have to make a backup plan, like in case nobody's getting the questions. And I'll try and schedule it at night when I know you can take classes.
Okay. Yeah,
Cool.
that will be great. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can log. I can join.
sounds good. Okay, Benjamin. Well, I had a great time with you in class today. Thank you so much for all of the feedback.
Yeah, it was fun. All your
Cool.
classes are fun. So
Thanks. Stop. You're
plus,
making me blush. What?
I learn a lot with you.
Good. Well, that makes me happy. That's what I want. So, your homework, you have to practice the number 3, okay?
Once they asked me how to write it, and I couldn't. Because that's other problem. I don't write anything. I
Oh,
I didn't learn like in books and doing exercises, so I don't know how to write many words. And I'm terrible at writing. I never write anything before I got to check it on Google. How do you write this? And I checked.
really?
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's
Have you ever taken grammar classes?
at school, but it was really basic, and I don't remember anything. So,
Wow. I
uh,
think then that your level of English is pretty fascinating. It's fascinating that you speak so well without having really studied it. So that's incredible. And just so you know, in the future, I will be doing writing classes. I can't wait, but I'm waiting to get a little bit more familiarized with Linguistico, that my students get to know me a little bit more, because it's going to be a more advanced class. And we'll do like creative writing, we'll write letters, and I'll have assignments. It'll be really fun. So, but that's more in the future. But just so you know, stick with Linguistico, and I'll make you some writing classes, okay? That way you learn.
yeah, I'm really embarrassed how I write, so I try to not to. I don't even chat in English, because I think I'm gonna make a fool of myself, and
Oh no. Okay. Well, then hey, then that's something we should do. If you ever have time and want to do private classes, then we can work a lot on the writing. That way you don't have to be ashamed. I mean, you don't even have to do like constant classes with me, like, you know, all the time. If you just want to get a package just to focus on your writing, get a pack of 5 classes or something, and we'll do writing on those 5 hours, and hopefully within those 5 hours we'll get it so that you don't feel like a fool.
yeah, yeah, I don't know how to write anything, honestly.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, I look forward to seeing you in my future classes. Do you have any questions or anything else?
Um, no, it's been fun. Hope you enjoyed your vacation and Merry Christmas. And Happy New
Thank
Year.
you.
I don't know if
Thanks. Merry Christmas to you too. I am giving classes up until Tuesday, so maybe I'll see you before then, okay?
okay. Yeah, I tried to join the last class, the 9 or 8 a.m. p.m. So if you're there, I'm going to try to join. Sometimes the
Okay.
full, and like
Sometimes what?
class is already full. You try to log in and there's full class in a red.
Oh. Yeah, try, and if you sign up early, that will help. You can always sign up and then not show up. But if you don't sign up and then try and show up, it might be full. So sign up early if you can, okay?
Okay. Yeah,
Cool.
it's already late. So sorry to pass.
No, no, don't worry, it's fine.
Okay.
All right, have a good night, okay?
You too. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.